It's me. Who you told me? The guys with the five eyes that you see. I may have messed up the start. I don't know what's up with this record button. You press record, then it records after 2 seconds. Whatever. So today, we're going to be talking about HoneyKomb Brazy, his parents, grandparents getting killed, and what his kind of music means to the black community as a whole. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you guys who are kind of like into rap or just into kind of like headlines when it comes to, most black people probably heard or not heard by now that this dude right here, HoneyKomb Brazy, he's a rapper from Alabama. His grandparents, excuse me, were shot on FaceTime Live, not FaceTime Live, FaceTime, whatever. Well, while like his opposition, they shot his grandparents and set their house on fire, but they also did it on his FaceTime, or they FaceTimed him while they did it, and um, it's just been making waves in the rap community because of kind of like how disturbing it is that two grandparents were brutally murdered and had their whole house set on fire. Definitely can't have no regular funeral for that. Definitely got to cremate those ashes. And this isn't good for the black community at all because this is the kind of music that's pretty much this is the most popular type of rap. It seems like for some reason this kind of rap is actually spreading its influence all over the world. You've got trap rappers in pretty much every kind of country you can think of, even the white ones like Russia and stuff. But Russia's always been biting our rap style. But anyways, so yeah, and this kind of music, like for this kind of music to be so popular, it just really shows that for whatever that segment of the black community that's into this kind of music, which usually are restricted in the hoods and ghettos, they're pretty much not going to be doing any better because I'd say black people, out of all races or people in America, we are the one group of people that music influences the most. It influences us directly. When you think of people who listen to like trap rap, it's a certain kind of image of a person that appears in your head. And for good reason, because the kind of people that listen to this kind of music are all kind of the same. They're ghetto, or they've got a hood mentality. And I'm not saying that like talking about people who kind of casually listen to, a honeycomb song every now and then. I'm talking about the ones specifically that just listen to this and nothing but this. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know people like this. They play this while they're working out, they play this while they're walking. You get in their car and this is the only kind of music you hear. And I will give you an example of his music. Don't need let him crack up the car, let him make it out the yard. Somebody pick that bitch apart. Bitch, I'm riding front seat. How I feel like Rosa Parks. Gave my bitch a ponytail. Hit her with that stick cigar. Took that stick everywhere. Bitch, you know he has a walk. Remember, grandma used to tell me I better make it home for dark. I don't care. I was somewhere in the stolen car. I was everywhere, tripping out. Going to sleep on bars. Now I feel like I'm on Mars. Bitch, I'm up out with the stars. Told that prince to lift me up. I never let you down. And no police said niggas, I never let them wrong. Okay, so the most ironic thing about like looking at him with that gun, these it's crazy to me how like these guys, these are the most selfish, ignorant assholes on the planet that ever exist to me. I hate dudes like this dude because they love this whole game of going out robbing and killing and selling drugs and everything. And the craziest thing to me is they don't. Whenever they say I feel like I had no watches, I had no way to make it out. I can understand a child feeling that way, which most of them are. But the thing about the kind of things that they do, it doesn't make money and it doesn't lead to nowhere. And they love saying, I love getting to the money and that's why I sold drugs and blah, blah. When it's been proven from a lot of people that selling drugs the way these dudes do probably is going to make you about as much, if not less, money than working minimum wage, you know? But they always trying to give that excuse that just because they are poor in a really poor environment they thought that's like their way out and stuff. And that's one of the biggest issues with this kind of rap music. It's making people, these kids, these young adults, think that this can be their way out only because this music is so popular, because of the desperation of these kids or these adults, or these people, the desperation of these people that want to either get out of their environment or even rule their own block. they internalize this music because this kind of music, it makes them think they have a chance at being like this person, when in reality it doesn't even matter if you get famous, if you get successful, if you get signed. As we've seen time and time again, Pop Smoke got murdered, XXXTentacion got murdered, freaking Nipsey Hussle got murdered, and I think they got murdered year to year to year with each other. You know, saw how the Prince got shot at, and they crashed his car and shot at his car, and now these dudes, you know, you got King Von who died last year. This guy, they murdered his grandparents. They're definitely coming for him. That other rapper, you know, Boosie just got shot. Benny. So it's so many of them, you know. And the thing is, in our community, because we don't teach our children to be able to notice trends a lot. They only know how to follow trends. People don't really understand that this is not going to be your way out the hood or anything like that, because if you're just going to go back and keep doing what you've been doing, or you're not going to stop, or you elevate things to a level where things are that real like he did, because apparently he's killed somebody and he's made diss songs, which people speculate is at the opposition in this case that actually did this crime. You know, none of that matters. No matter the amount of money and fame you have is not going to stop you. I mean, it's not going to stop these people from getting to people like you. So even if you do make it, you really haven't made it. But black people just for some reason can't seem to notice that. So for those people, they're lost. And then you also have the people that just like to listen to this music. You know, they're hood folks, but they're not trying to commit no crimes or anything. But the issue with that still, though, is the indoctrination of this kind of music. Because we all know there's people like out there that just listen to this stuff all the time. They always have these kind of energies and these kind of words running through their brain, where it gets to the point where this is kind of how they basically learn to be their own person. This is their personality trait, you know, vicariously living through these rappers that always end up either dead or in jail, and no one cares about how much of a worse life that is or no life that is because you're dead. They just like the bop to it, and it feels relatable, you know. And this is the only kind of music I've noticed, like black people, we're like the only groups of people that let music like this influence us so badly, you know. And we're the only group of people that just really, or at least in this country, that just make this kind of music like that. But I hate the music industry for this, though, because the music industry, you know, they sign these guys to be essentially the face of rappers and black people essentially as well, because black people have made it so entertainers represent them instead of important historical figures and leaders. You know, so to just be honest, when people think of black people, one of the first things they think about is athletes and rappers. And the industry has put these kind of rappers on top only because it seems like the sheep mentality of black people in the hood is just so incredibly strong. Because these people are all the same kind of people. They listen to the same kind of music, being in the same neighborhood, hanging out with the same people, just doing the same shit that they've always done since they were young. This music is just like part of that cog that keeps black people in a crazy chaotic circle where nothing seems to ever improve because it just simply won't. You know, and it's like I said, a lot of black people feel that and they want to be like this guy and make it, but it doesn't matter because dudes is still out here killing his family. They still out here ready to kill him. Honestly, it makes everything he's worked for not worth it. It's all in vain. All that money is never going to get his grandparents back. And now he's never going to have the image of them dead on screen out of his head. You know, I got to ask the kind of people that may watch this video that like this kind of music, this trap music, like, you know, what do you really think you deserve in life? What do you really see? How do you see yourself? Because I'm the kind of person that definitely feels a person's musical choices can tell you something about their personality and who they are. If you listen to this kind of stuff, why are you really listening to this kind of stuff? Do you really like this kind of music? Or are you really just listening to it because you feel like this is the kind of person you should be and everyone else is doing it? What this music means to the black people, I mean, not to the black people, but what this kind of music means to black people is that Most black people think that this kind of music's art. Like they really think that these guys are someone to look up to, and they get paid as such because they get all this fame and they get all this attention because for some reason in America we just, if it's extremely violent, then we got to pay attention to it. It's either extremely violent or it's extremely sexual. And personally, I feel bad for this dude's grandparents because they didn't deserve that. But I also don't feel bad for him because he probably deserves it. All those rappers out there that rap like this, they deserve everything that's coming for them. And to people that listen to these guys, if that's the only thing you listen to, you're an idiot. That's just the way I gotta come about with it. I know that seems like a harsh statement to say, but if this is truly your kind of music, I can't think that you're that smart because no sane person is going to want to have this kind of stuff playing in their ear over and over again. It gets boring. I don't understand how people don't get bored of these rappers, man. They just say the same words, literally all of them, the same words. The only thing they change up is maybe how like their flow and the beats somewhat, but the beats are the same. The subject matter is the same. These dudes even be looking the same with the same kind of tattoos, the same kind of looks, the same kind of guns. What is it about this music that people like so much? I just really don't understand. You know. But anyways, I'm gonna make this video kind of short though because I was waiting to make it in the first place because I wanted to just see what else would go on, if there would be more news that would come out and everything. But nothing has really happened in the week since this event has happened. So in closing, or really to close this video out, I have a really bad feeling about this. Like this kind of genre in rap is just really unique in how actually real it is because a lot of the rappers in this game are suffering real life consequences from making this kind of music and directing it at each other. I know recently at the Jacksonville Amazon here in Jacksonville, I said that twice. This dude got shot outside the Amazon by the opposing group, gang or whatever, right? And he was part of a rap group or a rapper, I don't know, and they made diss songs at those guys. So the guys showed up, killed him, and then his guys eventually killed those dudes. And the whole time they do this stuff, they make rap videos at each other, saying "fuck you, haha, you're dead, I'm gonna pee on your grave" and all this stuff. This happens pretty much all over, wherever there's rap beef and stuff like that. And it's crazy to me because they literally will be like, "fuck you, dude," in the rap video or something. Then that dude gets killed. And then the other dude's like, haha, I killed him. And then some dude comes up and kills him. And that dude's like, haha, I killed him. And it's like they do it over and over again. And they're stuck in this cycle. And it's just, for me, it just tells me that it's even more important now that we as black people, intelligent, smart, hardworking black people, we need to make sure we separate ourselves from black people like this guy. This guy is scum. Okay, and people like him, the guys like him, they're scum. I do not care if they grew up in a hard environment. That's what made them the way they are. At some point, you have to. When you become an adult, you can make better decisions, no matter how dumb you are, than when you were a kid. And these guys they make the cognitive decision to live these immoral lives. I understand that a lot of them feel they need it for protection and everything else, but honestly, they don't really need to put themselves in these situations for protection because if they try their best to stay out of that kind of lifestyle, they wouldn't have to worry about that. But then again, they live such bad lives that even if they don't worry, someone may end up shooting them regardless. But still, your chances are going to increase if you try to actually participate in the streets rather than just doing your best to avoid them and possibly becoming a casualty. It's really just it's crazy. These dudes they rap for a desperate chance to make it to the top, but the top doesn't matter. They could still get knocked off. These guys are just so useless. They don't do anything for anybody, not their families, not even themselves. not their kids, except getting them some Pampers, bottles, and toys. You know, there's no money in this game for them. There's nothing in this game for them. Just nothing that they can be satisfied with. You know, they live their whole lives just to die. Essentially, they're like a bunch of dodo birds or some lemmings or whatever. You know, this dude wants some sympathy and saying, "Man, I'm sorry, Grandma. I'll see you guys again." No, you ain't gonna see your grandparents again, dog. You going to hell or whatever it is, because you out here, you actually killing people. You actually getting into beefs, and you know, essentially you ruined like a big piece of your family now. Because if I was this dude's relative, I'd hate him because it's because of him. It's because of him. His grandparents are dead. He caused that, and it's his fault. You know, they had nothing to do with anything, but because he wants to participate in our life and thinks that's the way things are supposed to go, he doesn't have his grandparents anymore. That's just one of the many consequences that he's going to face. But for the black people out there that think just like him, you know, it's the same thing that's going to be coming to you. And if you're too stupid to realize that and you still want to participate in these kind of actions, then you should definitely get what's coming for you. You know, black people, we gotta make sure we stay distinct from these kind of black people. These are the kind of black people that are not gonna make it through, you know, our economic depression and our natural disasters and all that. Like, they're not gonna make it with us. You know, they're gonna be at the bottom of society. They're gonna be the untouchable class. They kind of already are, but it's going to be further extrapolated during this coming decade. And we have to represent ourselves better and let other groups of people know the distinction, because these are the kind of people that sadly the whole world thinks represents a black man and black people, because this is what's popular. This is what gets all the views and gets most of the money and everything. The image of a black man looking like this, you know. But that's the end of that video. Wasn't as long as the other videos. Not too in depth. If I get some more information, I'm definitely gonna talk about this again. And I'm probably gonna put together a longer piece, maybe like a video essay about what rap means to the black collective, the black population, however you want to call it now. So I'll see you guys later.